Welcome back, all you Batman-loving dudes and dudettes. Toyshiz here, and I am back yet again to give you guys another fresh look. And today, we are totally checking out the brand new, well, I should say relatively brand new. This is their Spinmaster Batmobile and Tactical Batman 2-pack. And this is being found now, out of all places, Costco, as part of their early holiday release. If you go there now, you'll see a ton of toys, all with a really great price. You can actually pick this up for 20 bucks. But you know Costco with their now defunct Polish sausage and their humongous pieces of pizza. And if you're over in England, you can get some Aberdeen Angus cottage pie and a jack and potato with tuna on top. And I swear to God, I've tried the tuna potato and it is delicious for some reason. It doesn't make any sense. But we're talking about Batman here today, so let's get into it. Now, I bought this specifically because of the Batmobile. It fits a 12-inch figure. You get the 12-inch figure with it. They kind of took over from Mattel with what they were kind of doing with those more limited, taller, a little bit cheaper plastic sort deal. These are part of the Spinmaster Creature Chaos assortment, or at least that's what they're being billed as. But this Batmobile is quite striking. Now, I was under the impression that it was more along the lines of the Batman White Knight. But if you kind of look at it, it's a little bit of that. It's a little bit Batman Returns. It's a little bit Batman Animated. It's kind of a whole bunch of different Batmobiles mashed into one. And it does make for quite the really cool looking Batmobile. And it's in scale with 6 and 7 inch figures. You can see the size of the box right here next to the 7-inch McFarlane figures. So I'm excited. I'm stoked. Let's get it open. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice hot cup of Gotham City coffee. This is a look at the brand new Spinmaster Costco exclusive Batmobile and Tactical Batman action figures. And here's everything out of the box. And I will say this again. For what you get, plus tax, depending on your state, for around $21 and change, this is an excellent set. If not just for adult collectors, for children. You get a Batmobile and a really cool looking Batman. This is not going to be for everybody, but for a kid, this is something special. It's actually not a bad looking Batman. For me, myself, I don't care for it. It'll just sit in my collection, of course. It's a Batman I don't have, but it's a much cheaper plastic. It is designed well. It's sculpted well. It does have enough articulation for a kid to go, okay, I can do a lot of stuff with this. It's a tactical Batman, not really one that you would see in the comics. I don't care for the cape. It's almost like wrapping paper kind of thing. It's feel to the touch, it's crinkly and everything else. But the sculpt is there, the detail, it's painted nicely. But again, it's just a very basic looking Batman. But for kids, that's where this is really gonna hit. But if you were interested, you get some nice head rotation out of this Batman. The arms will go, he'll have single jointed elbows. They'll spin at the wrists and at the elbow as well. Nothing at the waist, legs, knees, everything moves, nothing at the feet, of course. But as I said, I don't care for this cape. It's very much wrinkled right out of the box, and it probably will never go back to its shape. It's almost like paper. It's that thin. But this is what it's all about. This is a very monstrous, very imposing looking Batmobile, and the best part about it is that it scales well with 6 and 7 inch figures. 5 inch figures, 4 inch, we'll see in just a second. I mean, you can make it work, fudge it, but it looks good with the taller figures. And while we're not getting a whole lot of vehicles, especially in the price point, for 21 bucks, it ain't too shabby at all. The design is there, the sculpt is there. I love the fact that it has all the Batman insignia ever. Of course, he's gonna personalize it, right? He's got it right there in the wells of the tire. It's just awesome. From the backside, that's totally Batman Returns right there. From the top, around the canopy type area, it's a little bit Ben Affleck Batman Batmobile, right? But in either case, it's just cool. You just flip open the top and you can put your 12-inch Batman figure right in there. So kids are going to have a blast. It's Batman, Batmobile, hours of fun, right? And if they don't care for it, the adults can do what you want. But there's nothing inside. There's no seats. There's no steering wheel, no eject button, you know, for Harley Quinn, something like that. You just simply fit the Batman in there. He looks like he's sleeping in a coffin, basically, but think of it for kids. It works in that sense. They just close the top and the Batman fits inside. So in that case, we'll just say for kids, for a gift, Christmas gift, birthday gift, something that's going to be awesome for them. Here he is lined up with a previous Mattel. This is one of the last. This is like the 1939 first appearance Batman. I still love this figure. You don't get a whole lot of these, but he was a great toy for what they did with it, but it's still along the lines, very cheap plastic. The more Mondo Toys Batman the Animated Series figure, immensely heavy compared to this Spinmaster Batman, even compared to the Mattel one. You're going in more of the collector territory, heavier plastic, as opposed to the more brittle plastic, get it in, get you out. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel the same. But for the Batmobile, for let's say the White Knight, right? Yes, it's a little bit off. It does share some semblance to the Sean Gordon Murphy artistry, but I like the way this looks, and this is how I will be displaying it. You can put any number of 6 to 7 to 8 inch figure inside. It will fit. You can even cram a whole bunch. With a 12-inch figure, you could put them all the way to the front face of this Batmobile. You can get it in there. But it's really when you pose them, if you want to take photos, if you wanted to just have a nice display on your shelf, your office, work, what have you, it looks great. And I do highly recommend it for that. I highly recommend it in just a case of the price point. You're getting a really nice Batmobile, and for 21 bucks for the amount of plastic and toy that you get, yeah, I'd say it's a great deal. Now, I will tell you this. For those of you who think it's going to be a big, heavy, hefty Batmobile, it's not. It's very light. It's very much that cheap plastic, but it looks good. I think it photographs well. I think if you have any of these old Kenner figures, you could have McFarlane, NECA, what have you, I think that it's just in terms of the looks of the Batmobile outweighing, and it's just the price point itself. For 21 bucks, you really can't go wrong. It's a exquisite piece for that price, right? Put it with the White Knight from McFarlane, it's going to photograph really, really nicely. If you don't have a more in scale with these types of figures Batmobile, I think it works for you as well. And just to show you a kind of a scaling difference, you have the McFarlane Bat Raptor, right? And that was around the $30 price point, immensely heavier than what this new Batmobile is. You have pieces that move. You have the big burly tires. It's like 5 or 6 of these Costco Batmobiles in one, just in terms of the heft and the plastic. But it's a bigger Batmobile for the 20 bucks. So don't think that you're going to be getting this collector's item. You know, something like this, really well done. You're going to think about it, at least $300. You're getting it for 20. And McFarlane has just been killing it, especially with having vehicles for these scale figures, including this upcoming Bat Cycle, the Dark Knight's Metal Bat Cycle. I can't wait for that. That'll be in 2021. But again, just imposing them on the shelf. Don't overlook these vehicles that come out, especially from Spinmaster now, Mattel previous, but they look cool. You have this Joker copter. It's straight out of almost like the old Kenner figures. It looks great. So don't discount it in terms of, it's not heavy enough. There's not, metallic pieces. It doesn't have a lot of paint. This one is just flat black. It's got some windshields to it. It does have the yellow bat eyes. But when you put it with, say, like the Mezco Ascending Knight Batman, it looks killer. I mean, even because if it's a different Batmobile, you can put it with this Mezco different Batman. The 8-inch NECA Batman, I think this is where it gets a little bit too tall, possibly just a little bit more out of scale. I think it works to a degree, but I think it works better with the smaller scale type figures. Even the White Knight clocked in at a smaller 7-inch scale, even though it's more like 6.5, almost 7-inch. And then, of course, you have the Rebirth Build-A-Batmobile, which you can see the scale difference on that one. And let me know in the comments below, do you want to see more of these Build-A-Batmobiles from McFarlane Toys? Just curious what everyone's thoughts on that actually turned out to be. I highly recommend this. Again, for the price point, for a gift, for a birthday present, for a kid that's just getting into Batman, they are going to be stoked. For collectors, if you're looking for a really cool in-scale Batman Batmobile, I really think you're going to be happy with this. I'm immensely happy with it. For 21 bucks, you cannot go wrong. It's going to make for some great photography, and for customizers, you're going to have a ball. I see people just going to town on this, making it even better. The sculpt is there. Put the paint on yourself. Can't go wrong. So I'm curious to know what you guys think about this Batmobile, this 2-pack set. Comment below, let me know. Let's talk everything Batman. And I'm going to leave you guys with that. As always, drink some great coffee, eat some great food, but most importantly, remember, Robin tried his hand at this whole Robin-mobile thing, but it just doesn't have the same presence as having a big black Batman face on the front of your imposing Batmobile. And when you do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.